Happy you could join us. I'm with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group of Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Red Apron. So good that there's not just one, there's three. One at Union Market down in Merrifield next to B-Side, and also in Penn Quarter right next door to the Partisan. Greg, it is always good to see you.
See you too.
What do we have on tap this week?
This week?
Merry Christmas, by the way, everyone.
Thank you very much. So our holiday beer for this week is Firestone Walker 19, so 19th anniversary ale. This comes out every year, late fall, early winter. And it's always dynamite, small batch. Can be hard to find, although it seems like there's a little bit more available each and every year. It's always been a blend of countless different barrel-aged barrels of beer, but this one's actually different than any anniversary ale that's come before. And I guess let's just take a sip here, and then we can talk a little bit more about what's different here.
Hello.
So it's a blend of different barrels types, but also different beers in the barrels.
Oh. Leave some of that out for Santa, although since it is Christmas Day, I guess it's too late.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. That is dynamite.
It is.
And ooh, I love
amazing.
the boozy finish.
Yeah, it's big, huge dessert beer, lots of richness on the palate. And you know, we talk about craft beer and collaboration a lot. A lot of brewers work together on things. Well, there's collaboration that happens every day in the brew house. No brewmaster is fully in charge of anything anymore, and never really has been. The brewers are involved, the marketers are involved, you know, the owners are involved, but you know, the cellar master's involved, all this stuff. For every year, Firestone Walker, Matt Brennan, who's the brewmaster there, invites winemakers over to Firestone Walker, and they just happen to be surrounded by many of them in Paso Robles, Central Coast, California, and they come and they do a blending kind of competition where they pair them off. Everybody submits a blend, and then they decide on what that year's blend is going to be from there. So you have winemakers coming in, ultimately determining the blend. In past years, they've had up to 9 different beers from countless different barrels available for the blend. And that included some of their hoppier offerings that were not barrel aged. So you'd have like Wookie Jack or Double Jack. And so, unbeknownst to me until recently, all the other anniversary beers have had a good amount of fresh, unoaked, hoppy beer in them. And I think you kind of taste that. It had a rich hoppiness to it. You'd age the beer over time, it would become less hoppy and more mellow. This year he cut out the fresh hoppy stuff and only gave them 4 different beers to work with, again, from what would end up being 235 different oak barrels, but 4 beers to work with. And the final blend that was voted upon was 33% Parabola, which is their bourbon barrel-aged imperial oatmeal stout, 33% Sticky Monkey, which is this blonde barley wine quadruple they age in whiskey and bourbon barrels. And then the remaining portion was about 16% Bravo, an imperial brown ale aged in bourbon and brandy barrels, and then 16% the final was Velvet Merkin, which is an oatmeal stout aged in bourbon barrels as well. So that's what it ended up being.
Wow.
But it, you know, it's a completely different beer than it's been in years past without that fresh hoppy component.
Got to say, Sticky Monkey is one of the best beer names ever created.
Totally.
And a new recent favorite is Secret Sauce from, is it Burley Oak?
Yes, Secret Sauce, yeah.
We just did recently.
Yeah, delicious beer.
What does this honey ring in at?
I think this one is upwards of about 14% as well. 13.8 or so?
13, yeah.
13.8?
Just shy of 14. These guys just, they just knock it out of the park all the time.
Yeah, and you know, another brewery, we talked about this a little bit last time, we don't have to go into it again, but another brewery that has, in an effort to expand and grow, had to take on investment, as anyone would. And you could go, you know, Dogfish Head just took on investment from a private equity firm. Other brewers sold their company outright, Ballast Point. Or Firestone Walker took on investment from Duvel Mortgott, who's a partial owner now, just as they are of Boulevard stuff. So it's really cool. Their arrangement means that nothing changes, and the company remains as it is. It's basically just an investment to get them to be able to do more of this, and I think we're all happy with that.
And get the product
out
to a farther reach.
Totally.
Yeah.
And fresher, and just logistics, efficiencies. So it is the game we are playing, but again, it definitely, it reminds us of business now more than maybe it did in the past, but flavors are still there.
What would you pair it with?
So this is, after dinner drink, and it's pretty intense, and boozy, and big. Great with dessert. But these kind of flavors, these dark, rich, malty flavors, bourbon, little sweetness, little heat. I love with greens of any kind, like spinach and stuff like that. So I started thinking, that led me to thinking about some Greek cuisine. We have a great Greek Mediterranean-inspired restaurant in the company, Iron Gate. So I've been exposed to a lot of that and just love Greek food in general. So things like spanakopita, but also things like moussaka, which is like, meat and veg casserole. Anything that's lamb-based, chickpeas, lentils, souvlaki, gyros, all that kind of stuff. I love those like herbal, spicy, earthy flavors with the big, bold richness of this anniversary ale.
Dynamite. Way to wrap up 2015. We'll see you next year. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.